beautiful rising. It's like 8 o'clock, maybe. Like 8:30. Let's see. No, I can't see. I think it's like 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock. And I just rewatched the video from the other day, 2 days ago. Well, at least when I recorded. And I really love myself. Like, I really love it. I really love myself. I'm very, like, leaning into my quirkiness and weirdness, but also I'm very sharp and stoic. And I'm also very, I like, it's really nice to look at yourself. So record a video of yourself just talking and watch it and just admire yourself. Like, it feels good. She. But yeah. And I also have some announcements. And then I kind of want to preface some stuff. Like, I was saying I was like, anyway, so let's go on with the announcements. So, hello. Asha Sawu, aka it's Sprinkling Nicole. I have some announcements, and the announcements are really the only main announcement I'm probably going to share is my movement guide sessions, astrology readings, and so each Sunday, not each Sunday, each month, every fourth Sunday, I host movement classes for the community. They're free and donation based. So if you don't have it, if you don't want to have it, just come. Like, it's all good because I want you to feel the beauty of movement in many ways. And today I'm going to also talk about how I view movement more at the end of this video, because it's the part 2 of the ebb and flow of my physical movement and how it has allowed me to witness my emotional movement, my spiritual, my physical, and how I've integrated mass parts of myself and how I am still moving and flowing into integrations and other parts that have been more challenging. So the movement sessions, I do those personally. If you ever come to Costa Rica, if you ever want to come to Costa Rica, and you're where I'm at, if you want to book a physical movement session, always, and anybody who's around me, they have access to this. And I will be I am creating things right now, but in time we'll all see. This church I used to go to, the pastor used to say, just keep going to sleep and waking up. Just keep going to sleep and waking up. Like, and then the more every day you see. So, yeah. So I do have both physical and online personal movement sessions. And if you ever want to book it with a group of people, and said I'll talk about how I use movement and all the different facets that I see movement to help regulate the nervous system and to help find integrations in space that maybe it is hard for. I am a homemaker, and I personally look at home first as being this body. Like, this is the first home. This is the temple that must be taken care of in many ways, and it's not always easy, but it is definitely a journey that can be journeyed if wanted. And I also look at home as the physical, so both your home that you live in, that you wake up, you fall asleep in, and then also environmental home. And that's how basically I have looked at my journey. I know other people, like, I now see that it's courageous, but that is not how I looked at me living my life, like, as being a courageous thing. I just looked at it as, like, more so I am, and also, okay, everywhere already, but I like it. Okay, so I think about my birth chart as an astrologer. Like, I think about my birth chart a lot in things. More so just to help me sharpen it, not to necessarily to sharpen I like to sharpen my perspective when it comes to astrology by taking what happens and, you know, finding placement in how it can help me see. And when I see things, I'm able to move through things. Like, there's a light, you can guide yourself, and I feel like astrology is one beautiful tool that we can do to, like, kind of just see the story of how the stars affect our energetic movement and our stories. And it is a real science. Astrology is really the study of the stars, and it's so much simpler than people like to put on it, but it is very now intricate and detailed and mathematical. And if you know astrology, you know astrology. If you don't, you don't, and that's fine. Either way, I said that to say, I was looking at my chart, and when you look at your natal chart, it is, from what I've learned from beautiful astrologers like Umi Genevieve, Ra Aku, Marie Rouse. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but I love her. And I love a lot of different astrologers. Either way, I've learned a lot from them, and also just studying. But it is a screenshot of basically your parents' energy when they made you. So you are that product of the energy that they were in, and it shows in your full chart. And so I'm looking at mine today, well, thinking about mine today, and like I was telling you in the last video, like I'm learning to, like I am processing some feelings I have with like my family and challenges, and I'm at a point where it's no blame. Like, it's not blame at all. Like, I don't blame my parents. I don't think bad of them. I don't think that I don't know. I see the human in them, and I see how hard it is even for myself to like process and respond and do things, but it is still accountability for myself and also for how I have experienced them. So yeah, I'm looking at my chart, and I'm really seeing like and even just looking at my life and how it was, like I'm a Libra sun in the 4th house. I'm a Capricorn moon in the 7th house. 4th house is Cancer, 7th house is Libra in the upright standpoint. And my rising is Cancer. So I have a lot of Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer energy. And to me, that is the home. That is the responsibility, the work, and it is the balance. It's just, and I can tell my family, like my mom and my dad are very just people. Like they really at their center are very just people. Like I see that in them, and they are about the home. My dad was, when I tell you, my dad, the hardest working person I know. Like nobody, just from my perspective, nobody can touch how much my dad loved his work, and it was like a genuine love. I worked with him before, and he loves his work. Like he loves his work, so, which is beautiful. But it also, you know, human things happen, and either way, best landscaper, and you know, so we'll get there. But yeah, best landscaper, very detailed, very focused, and he also told me that what his work was his like meditation. So I think about being just, being clear, being upright and standing. Like Capricorn and Libra, I think are like very honoring people, even if it comes with deception. Sometimes, but in its upright position and in its balanced position, it is very just. It sees all sides. It takes responsibility. It also takes accountability, because Saturn, which is Capricorn, will make you take accountability. It will show you responsibility, and if you don't choose to see and accept that, then it will. You're gonna submit, or you're gonna keep having like resistant. You're gonna be resistant. You're gonna be behind something. Whereas Capricorn really wants you to be in front of it, but with process and structure. And Cancer is home. It's the nurturing part. And I can see how my mother is a nurturer. Like, she really is. She took care of home. She was not the best cook. But we ain't never missed a meal ever. And we was just always provided for. And I just think about, like, that is also the energy that I am here to bring forth and free, and also get stabilized in. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But I had that realization, and I see why I look at my journey the way that I do, because I wanted to clear my emotions. I wanted to serve them right. I wanted to bring justice towards my emotional state that I had suppressed for a long time. And I have Mars and Gemini, so I needed that movement, and it's in the 12th house. I need that movement to help find that movement and the intellectual, like, information. My Virgo, if you don't know, in my last video, when I was like processing my thoughts and trying to remember things, in my last video, I said, like, guess what my Mercury sign is, and it's Virgo. So I'm very, like, very precise with my movement. Like, I know what I'm doing, even if I don't know, which is the strangest thing. Because that's, like I said, I'm following my spirit. I'm literally following my spirit. Sometimes it takes me places that I'm like, why did we go here? But it makes sense why we went here, because it's all a part of the clearing and the opening and the receiving and the blooming. Like, it's just been a part. I'm very protected, and I'm grateful for that protection. I'm very, very protected when it comes to, like, physical things. Things have happened to me that, you know, I might have felt like I didn't have protection in, but I'm grateful to be here. I always have been provided for and never missed a meal. And yeah. So the last part I was at, 13 minutes. That's so funny, because what's happened the last time? What's with 13? I mean, I'm not going to that, but yeah. That's just hilarious, though. Like, if you watch my last video, literally when I stopped playing the guitar, it was at 13 minutes. So that was just trippy. Yeah, so the last part I was at, it was the part of the pandemic. And when the pandemic started, and that is when I got super, super expressive, because there was so much going on. And I did, like, my body doesn't necessarily like stagnant energy, although there has been stagnant energy in my body, and that came out in me responding, like, very impulsively and chaotically. It be like that. Like, I really can get chaotic, but I really have been on this journey to calm my nervous system, literally, and so that I can literally feel and exude what I do feel. Like, I feel it. I feel both of them at the same time. I feel the chaos and I feel the tranquility. It's a beautiful journey. Like, you know, that's Lou. Lou be the lookout. Let me show you. Lou be looking out. Hey, girl. I was not calling you over. I don't even know if y'all can see. Yeah. So, basically, during the pandemic, me and my sister lived at my granddad's house. He transitioned, so it's a family house. So we moved in, and we were planting, smoking, drinking. We was doing a lot, but it was the best time because I was able to fully process like everything that I had just like experienced, and I was able to create and feel and write. I was writing a lot, writing poems. I was writing abstract stories. I was on Tumblr heavy. I'm gonna get back on Tumblr. Like, Tumblr is a thing for me because I really enjoy the mystery and the discreetness of Tumblr, and also the ability to be extremely like vulnerable. I don't know if it's because I don't know anybody on Tumblr, or even if I did, you know the vibes. So yeah, Tumblr was that. I painted the wall in the living room that we had, and then I also painted a bedroom. And me and my niece would come over all the time. We would go walk for walks and pick flowers. Like, it was a lot going on, like energetically from the world, and I also like was processing that sadness, but it did give me the ability to breathe during that time. Like, I was able to find the breath and see all that's going on, even still, just because I want to say a godly eye, like, where I can see and sit with reality, and also see and sit with divine perspective, in my opinion. It just feels that way, and I know it to be true. So it's not even a belief. I know it to be true. So I say that to say, like, during that time, like, it was a lot going on, a lot, and I was not fooling with the pandemic staple. In no ways, I wasn't about to get the pandemic staple imprint, but that was just for my own. Like, I don't even take birth control. I never, even when I was 16, I took it for like 2 weeks. It didn't work, and I never took it again until like 22 when I did it for like a week maybe. Like, no, I don't. And I used to take ibuprofen all the time for my cramps when I was younger, and I stopped that. I don't even take anything for my cramps anymore, although my cramps aren't like they used to be. But either way, so all that's going on, and I'm also still processing as a human, but also like seeing with my spiritual eye, and regulating my nervous system throughout the whole thing by creating, crying, yelling, screaming, like writing, journaling, breathing, creating rituals for myself, planting, and it just helped regulate the nervous system. It didn't take away the experience of everything, and that's what a lot of things, all these tools, that's how I view them. They're literally to help regulate my nervous system, whether that be it physically, spiritually, energetically, emotionally, mentally, like any part of myself that I feel, see, witness, in all the many ways that the senses bring forth that feeling, that is what I'm gonna do. And sometimes I don't do it, and sometimes I do destructive shit too, and because I just be tired of doing all that. But I always come back, because it's like, that's home for me. That's home for me. Like a regulated system, regulated nervous system is home, and what it does to keep that afloat makes sense for me. And I feel like anybody who feels that too. But yeah, so that's what 2020 was for me. So that is when. So in 2017. I don't know if I said it in the last video, but in 2017, I felt a call to go to Costa Rica. And I was trying, but the way that I was trying, it didn't feel good. So I didn't do it. And I just wasn't ready, bro. I wasn't ready. And I didn't care. Like, I heard about it, thought about it. And I was like, okay, Costa Rica. That's nice. I'll get there one day, maybe. But it was never like California. Ever since I was younger, I always said I was going to move to California. That was like a focus. Like, oh, I'm getting to California. I'm getting to California. But when I heard Costa Rica, it was like, oh, okay. And I haven't thought about it again until 2020. So, and in 2020, I didn't have a passport. I ain't been out of the country. I traveled around the states, but I ain't been out of the country. So I heard it like, I'm at my granddad's house now, and I told y'all already that my spirit speaks to me. And I hear, don't get comfortable at your granddad's house. And I remember like, I told my sister like, I don't know why I feel like I'm not supposed to get comfortable. And my sister's very supportive of my flow, and I'm grateful to her for that, like, really am. And I told her, and she was like, okay. Well, I mean, she might question me still, because who doesn't question another, because they're not them. But she understood. She still has a deep understanding of who I am. And I told her, I was like, I feel like I'm not going to get comfortable, but at the same time, I was getting very comfortable. Like, I was working with my dad at the time. And then I was like, honestly, they're coming. And no, you can't go over there, Lucia. But like, he's coming, and I really enjoy it. But so yeah, I'm working with Dad, and I'm just like, I don't know, I can be in New Bern and like start building my life. Like, I was really had my niece all the time. My nephew would come over. Like, my parents, we were in good standing. Like, I'm like, okay, I can stay. I don't mind. But I just kept feeling, don't get comfortable. And I would tell a friend that I was doing like routines, and we would wake up in the morning and do yoga or just talk, or we had like a little ritual going. And I would tell her, I'd be like, so I keep feeling like I'm moving to Costa Rica, but I don't know, because I don't even got my passport, da-da-da-da. And she would be like, well, that's when you feel like you're going, like, go. Like, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. And so I talked to my cousins, and I'm like, I feel this way. And it was like, shoot, we feel like we about to be out too. So then I was like, word. Actually, I don't know. The timeline is off, but it's all right, because the story's still the same. But so talking to my cousins, and my cousins are like feeling the same. My cousin Melanie and Liz, like they like felt like moving out of the country too. And so at first we were all gonna move to Costa Rica together, and then they decided to move to Mexico, which was fine, because I really felt like I was gonna be on this journey on my own. Like, something about it, like, I needed to be by myself. And so I'm also telling like other friends, like, and they all like, I support it. Like, I can see that for you. And some friends helped me get my passport, and I was gonna get everything myself, but I was on track to, like, they sent me the money randomly one night, and I was like, boo-hoo crying, like, ah! So I got my passport, and I didn't get my ticket to come to Costa Rica until the month before, which sounds insane, but the way when you're led, everything always works. And I'm so grateful. And sometimes you have challenges. A lot of times you have challenges, but it'd be worth it. It'd be worth it. Because it teaches you so many different things. The challenges, they really do. So 2020, so I decided to move, and I always heard January 24th. So January 24th, I moved to Costa Rica, and literally the best year of my life. Not, yeah, it was so good. And then it was also so crazy. Also, like, it was also very challenging. Like, the best year, but also, I can't say it was the worst year, but it was very challenging. I was able to take care of myself fully because I got an abundance of money 2 weeks after I got here with not a lot. But I was able to take care of myself the full year, rent places, travel, do a lot of stuff because it was a nice number. And I learned from that too because I was like, but I didn't know I wanted to live here. I was like, it was really just me seeing. So I didn't buy land, but I definitely should buy land last year. Well, 2021, which is all right. Cause it's coming again. It's coming again. So yeah, moved to Costa Rica, and I had a whole nother set of experiences when it comes to relationships, boundaries, how I saw myself living, how I wanted to live, and because I feel like when I was in Costa Rica, my emotional state, I had found resonance with how I would keep that regulated on my own. Like, I didn't need, before I needed others to help regulate my nervous, or I needed, like, it's all still a journey. Like, it's not completely, but it was much stronger here in Costa Rica, where I was able to support myself. And then I also had people in my life who could also be that support, and I felt very safe and still feel very safe. Like, the people I go to, yeah, the people I go to like express my emotions deeply and my experiences deeply with, I call them my wise counsel because they're gonna keep it real with me, and they also gonna allow me to be, you know. So yeah, but came to Costa Rica, and I feel like for me, Costa Rica was more of like a spiritual grounding, how to use my energy spiritually. Lucy think I'm coming to play with her. Every time I dance, look. Every time I dance, look at that tail. I can't do too much with it. Can't do too much. Hey, girl. Hey, girlfriend. Hey, girlfriend. All right. Afuera. Afuera. No. Afuera. Gracias. Afuera. Siéntate. Go now. I gotta finish recording. Thank you. So, I don't know where that beat is coming from, but I like it. This is Puerto Viejo, boy. You don't get this on every side. So now I can talk about my movements stuff. It's like, for me, I am not the nomad who wants to be, like, I want to enjoy every country that I'm in. I don't think Costa Rica is going to be my, I feel like I'm going to have home here forever. So I do plan, right now in the state of moments, I do plan to buy land. I think land is a secure feeling of mine, but I'm still flowing through it. Or at least a home. Something here forever, for generations. But I do feel called to go to other places, and I don't know if it'll be just like I'll travel there for a month and experience the land, or if I'll find more forever homes. I'm just very open, and I don't like to say in my own, like, because it's not for anything. Like, well, it's not like a materialistic game for me. I like to experience culture. I like to learn new things. I like to see different things. So I really like to engulf myself in the place that I'm in, like learn the land. And I feel like that's what I did with the United States. I haven't been to every state in the United States, but I've been a lot of places. My family, like my parents like to travel. We like to take road trips, 12-hour, 14-hour road trips. So, and I used to go, like, we've been places. But I like to sit in places. So we'll see. But I have been to many provinces of Costa Rica. Like, I'm here in Limon, currently staying for a month. I've lived in Kō'nektd. I live currently in the Osa, which is the south, and I think Puerto Viejo. I don't know. I know Kō'nektd is north, and I want to say Puerto Viejo is on the east, or I think, I'm pretty sure. And then I've also been to Central, but when I went to Central, like, I didn't stay long. It wasn't like an exploration type of thing. I just, not like a deeply into explorational type of thing. So either way, I feel like each place gives me a different energy, and as I am finding stability here, I feel like the places that I go have all served a different purpose, and I am currently experiencing which one feels like energetically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, even in community, which one feels more at home to me. And when I first got to Costa Rica, I went to Monteverde for like a month, almost a month, like 3.5 weeks. I stayed in Monteverde, and I love Monteverde, but it was too cold for me. But it was beautiful. It wasn't. I mean, it was touristy kind of, but it still had this like indigenous feeling. Like the air there was clear. It was beautiful. I don't know. I really, really, really love. Like, I've been there twice, 2 times, 3 times coming, and I've been there twice, and yeah, both times were just beautiful to me. Like, I went the first time, I just stayed kind of in Airbnb and got used to being in Costa Rica, and then the second time I did like zip lining and bridge walks and kind of just was out in the nature of it. But I just knew I didn't want to live there because I don't like to be cold. I said that already. But so after Monteverde, I was in a Facebook group, and it was my friend now, Lovisa. Her and I were just like connecting, and she was in Samra. She was in Samra. And I'm looking at the monkey. So she was in Samara, and she was like, I was also talking to this other girl, and she was in Playa Cocos. But when she was telling me about it, she was saying how, no, one of them were telling me about Playa Coco, and they were saying it was very touristy, and it had like go-karts. Like, I just thought about being in North Carolina, and because I'm from a beach, well, very close to the beach, and it's just in Atlantic City. It's just like there's a lot of white people in North Carolina, especially where I'm from. Like, it's a blend of everybody, but when you go to Atlantic Beach, people on the go-karts, it's just, that's what it is. And no, I don't mind white people, but I just didn't want to feel. I didn't want the energy that, and they told me that's how it was, like uppity. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. But my friend, she was in Samara, and she loved that. She loved it there. She was like, it's beautiful. And then when I got there, it was still kind of a similar feeling, but we can get to that one day maybe. So I go there, meet her. I fell in love with that place immediately. Like, it was beautiful. It was hot. Like, I mean, I got dehydrated, and I have some very beautiful Tika friends in Samara who helped me hydrate myself. And I was staying in the hostel at the place that they owned, and then I met my other friend Michelle. Yeah, so it was just, I did get dehydrated because I was not drinking enough for the temperature that and the climate and the terrain of Samara, but we got it together, okay, immediately, because I was like, I don't know what's happening. It's hot. She was like, you're just dehydrated. And she got me some water with some salt. She basically made an electrolyte drink, and immediately I felt better. But I fell in love with that place, man. Like, that place still has my heart, low-key. Like, I did just go back recently in January, and I love it still, but it was different. And I don't know, maybe like not in Samara, nah. But I will be back there often. Like, you'll see. So either way, I fell in love. I stayed there for the full year, the rest of the year. I left to go back to the States December 31st, 2021. And yeah, so, but I did travel to Puerto Viejo with my friend that I met, who I was just talking about, and we came here for like a week, and I really loved it here too. Like, in Puerto Viejo, I love it. Like, but at that time, I think I was gone, because it wasn't even like extremely like it was party like then, but we didn't necessarily go to like a whole bunch of parties. Like, we were just out and about, like, hanging, but it was fun. We biked. We met. I gotta put Benji.
You do?
Yeah.
And you my people! You my people!
Hey, good that I stop you, girl. To me, God. Man, great. When you talk to me, make up. Here we are. I'm waiting for you.
You are.
Waiting for you.
Right here. I don't know where he is. I don't have the phone anymore that I had his number in. Benji, Irene, and Stella. Like,
Hi, Mama. Hi. Hi, Mama. Hi. Hola. Oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet.
like, they were like my little family for that day. And, yeah. So, we just like kind of, I don't know, it was really cool. I really enjoyed being there then, but I had another little boo at the time, so I was like, no, I'm gonna stay in Samara. And yeah, so I did, and I really loved being in Samara. I have really good friends there, and I did a lot. Like, I met some really beautiful people. It was great. All of the places. Oh, and now I'm in the OSA. Okay, so when it comes to the OSA, the environment is beautiful. The community is beautiful, but I slowly integrated into the community, and I slowly integrated because of me regulating my own nervous system and coming from communities and being around people where I also separated from. Like, I just really have been wanting to be by myself, and it is challenging to reconnect after you are in hermit mode for so long. And so I slowly integrated, but I had next door neighbors that we were always like out in nature hiking. Then my friend Cheyenne, like she was here for a month and we hanging together, so it was cool. Like, but the OSA reminds me of my hometown. It's not a lot to do there, and I love it because I have a stillness, so I feel like I know I'm gonna be there for like at least have a base there, like the place that I stay now. But I came back to Puerto Viejo and I ain't even really been out in the streets. Me and Lucia have just been walking up and down the mountain, and I've been to the ocean. I'm probably gonna go again after I make this video, and yeah, it's been amazing. Like, I can feel myself over here, and I haven't made that decision yet. I'm still allowing me to, I just really, I don't know. I'm very open, but I'm working on things, so I don't want to move right now while I'm working, like, and I'm creating, and it's really, really not dire that I move right now. So I don't think I'm to move over here, but I can feel myself over here for sure. Yeah. I have just really allowed myself to find flow, and it has just really helped me to see myself emotionally a lot, and where I needed to find balance in that because I needed to, for my own safety, for my own body, for my own home, for my own structure. Like, I need structure. I have to have structure. And I have to have support from myself, but also if I'm having support from myself, I have support from everything that is reflected in me. And that's just how I feel about my journey and how I feel like I can grow and expand, because support is everything. And support to me is not about understanding. Understanding and support are separate. Support just looks like, it feels more like I feel you and I witness you, and I also feel and see and witness and support myself. Like, every supporting character has its own healthy view of themselves, and then can also see why you are in your own energy and why you do and move how you do. Not necessarily how you do, but they just honor it. It's an honoring thing. Like, because a lot of you're not gonna understand me. Like, and I can't really look for anybody to understand me, and I'm not gonna fully understand you. Like, I can just say, if this is you, I have to say yes, because I cannot speak for you. But, we all do help guide each other into balance too. So there are things that we can speak and say, like, hey, but more so, we do that when, say if you had a problem with me and you came to me and said, I got this problem with you. That's how we see ourselves, to find balance in things that we need to find balance in, if that makes sense. But it's not somebody else saying, you. This I'm at 44 minutes again. I'm a long-winded piper. And honestly, it's just because this is all new information, like for me sharing it openly to anybody other than myself and my close friends and family. But yeah, there might have to be a part 3 because it took a lot for me to have it out. But I'm gonna post a vlog next maybe or something. Just to kind of break up the type of things that I want to give and share. Show and tell was my favorite part of kindergarten. So I also would like to know, like, it'd be like, that's why I love watching YouTube videos, and like seeing other people too, because it's like showing and telling. And we don't have to get super personal on social media, but we can. Like, I feel like this was personal, but y'all still don't know all my business. But you know, like, I feel like that was a healthy amount to share, especially for how I show up on social media. Yeah. So, enjoy your day. Preface some stuff. Like, I was saying I was like, anyway, because although I wasn't working a job, like a job from another, back then, I would always do stuff for like my friends, families, or even smaller businesses. Like, I've always done that. And I've always done like astrology. I ain't never not worked or never not had something coming in or doing something to bring something in. But I have not worked like corporate jobs or restaurant, because I served in restaurants for a long time. So I haven't always had, and I always did like Instacart or DoorDash or Uber Eats or Lyft throughout my whole 20s. So I wasn't no bum or nothing, but I wasn't doing the regular schmegular. But I'm not a regular schmegular, so yeah. Now we're at 52 minutes and I gotta go, so peace. Love you. Like, comment, and subscribe, because that's what you do on here, right? Just check me out, bro. Like, check me out. Follow me.